Sorry about that. It is 18 minutes past 6. Oranga Tamariki Ministry for Children is at the centre of a gathering storm of protest over its practices around the uplift of children from their whānau. But according to our next guest, the Public Service Association organiser for Oranga Tamariki, these criticisms miss the real cause of the issue and are grossly unfair to social workers who are doing their very best under difficult circumstances. The PSA's Amy Ross joins us now from Wellington. Good morning, Amy.
Morena.
So what's the effect of this recent reporting been on social workers for Oranga Tamariki?
Yeah, our members have seen an enormous uplift in the abuse that they've experienced, both online and actually in person in their communities. And that includes their own whānau. So people's children have been harassed and bullied at school and intimidated and come home and said, "Mum, you know, you're a child snatcher and a home wrecker." And so they've experienced a lot of abuse in their communities, which is incredibly personalised. And the reason that that's a real travesty is not only that it's awful for those individuals who do a fantastic job, but that it actually is reductionist and it's not answering the real questions, in that there are systems and processes across our entire society which are racist and need challenging. We live in a society riddled with inequality, poverty, homelessness, which disproportionately affect Māori, and we all need to step up and be responsible for challenging that.
I absolutely accept that, but shouldn't Oranga Tamariki staff and members have a greater awareness of racism and its effect?
Yeah, they do, and they have a responsibility to be aware of racism and also to act in a way which is in line with Pōtiatatu and in line with the Treaty of Waitangi. And they are challenged to do so on a daily basis, and they do an amazing job at that in the majority of the times. Yes, they will make mistakes. And, you know, we still face a situation where the workload that our members face is so far out of line with international best practice that they cannot achieve the quality practice that we know that they can do when they have the time and resources to invest in the relationships. Because remember, social work is about relationships with people. It's complex, it takes time, it takes investment, it's thousands of variables to factor in. And yes, we should be challenging people to step up about racism. We need to have conversations that are courageous every day in New Zealand about racism. But social workers aren't the bad guys here. And it's not about sides. There are no greater advocates for Māori, for whānau, and for our communities than social workers. That's why we got into the profession in the first place.
How should we be having this conversation, which is greatly needed, as you say, without attacking the social workers who are doing the work on the front line?
I think we should be having it courageously as a society and all together. So we should stop looking for people to blame, whether it's the Chief Executive of Oranga Tamariki or individual social workers, and actually look across all of our society, all of our agencies, local government, businesses, iwi, communities, and say, how can we all come together? Where do we want to be? And how can we all chip in to get there? And that was what was said in Pōtiatatu back in 1988. It's going to take all of us, and that we all need to step up into that space and have conversations.
That's sad that was back in 1988, 30 years ago.
I know.
What improvements can we actually make? Are there solutions?
Yes, well, I think most of the solutions are still contained in that document. The recommendations of Pōtiatatu were never fully implemented. The political will simply wasn't there. And it's not fashionable to invest big money in challenging inequality and poverty and homelessness, which we still see today. We see the lack of courage in actually going, we need to change our framework, our economic framework. We need to really challenge the way that we distribute wealth. We need to think about the way that we organise society and how the impacts of colonialism still carry on today and re-traumatise generation after generation.
Is the $1 billion allocated to this work in the budget going to help, do you think?
Yeah, I think it's a great start, and I think there are a lot of great people at Oranga Tamariki and in the leadership space as well who want really great outcomes, but it's a hard thing to do and it takes time, and Oranga Tamariki can't do it on its own. we all need to be involved. All of our institutions have systemic issues with racism, and we all need to have a part in challenging that and thinking about aspirationally, where do we want to be? A society where child abuse doesn't occur. That's the only way we genuinely can keep our kids safe. So we need to be a part of the solution, all of us, and not look at the person next to us and say, you're to blame, but what can I do?
Thank you very much for your time this morning. That's Amy Ross, the National Organiser for Oranga Tamariki PSA workers. Thank you.
Thanks.
This is a timely conversation we're about to have with